This program is brought to you by the following non-paid sponsors: the League of Extraordinary Beings, the Society of Poor Knights of the Multiverse, Battle School, the Deployed from Detroit School of Leadership and Madness, the Society of the Pale Horse, the Curiodrome, and of course, viewers like you.
Oh, hey, it's working. All my lights are lighting up the way they're supposed to. I think we started. Hi, gang. Happy Sunday. I'm Jenny. This is my podcast kind of thing. Every podcast has a gimmick. Mine is unique, but also not even kinda. I get baked, and I teach you military leadership. What do I mean by baked? I smoke marijuana. What do I mean by military leadership? Specifically talking, in this case, we've been going over for the past... this is the 14th? Holy shit, gang. So we're 2 weeks in to about a 3-week course? 3.5? We're almost done. So I got rip-roaring high. And I'm like, good morning, huh? Hello. And I was just woke up from a nap. It was weird as shit. I didn't necessarily intend to take a nap, but I woke up like fully tucked in bed. And then I saw the time, and I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? And I was like, oh shit, podcast. So I'm here. I did review what we went over last time, just so I didn't, cover it again or whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna move on. I do appreciate the feedback I've been getting. I know it's not a ton. If you're looking at the view count, you're like, what feedback, bitch? That counts. But, no. The few of you who do watch, I've gotten some feedback on it. I appreciate it. I'm always kind of, nervous because... Oh, probably because I'm high. But, is this a good idea? Is this working? I think to some degree, it's kind of gotta. The material's older than me. It predates me. This predates America. This predates a lot of shit. This is just what it is. So, at a minimum, I'm fumbling around a truth. And so, if I can't nail the actual form, hopefully you can kind of see what I'm not saying. Not to say that there's secret messages and I'm trying to fucking, hint, this means that, but no, sometimes my similes and metaphors, I almost merged that word, similars, it's a metaphorical simile. It's not a thing. Don't use that word. Oh, there's my first blackout of the episode. Let's go to the slides. Whoop. That's not the slides. I'll get them. You just saw my secret. I'm not outside. I just like the bug noise. It's actually peeper frogs. Where I grew up, I always thought they were bugs for the longest time. Like crickets or something. But it was way louder in the swamps. And then I learned it's these tiny little peeper frogs. And this is them going who wants to fuck? And then they just... And it's some of the best shit to fall asleep to if you were born in a swamp. That's... Wait. Found it. Beep. What we gotta do, yo? What the fuck we gotta do? We're done with what we gotta be. We know we gotta be. We gotta be fucking awesome. Luckily, we know that we mostly already are awesome. We just have to be aware of that. And be aware of where we're not awesome. That's pretty easy what it is to be. To know, you gotta know what you're talking about. You gotta know what you wanna be talking about. You gotta know what your people are talking about. You gotta know, sure, standards and regulations and principles and blah, 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 blah. But if there's anything you gotta know, just like if there's one thing, know yourself. That'll help you figure everything else out. Do, though, don't do yourself. Especially not in formation. That'll sort of undermine all of the first 2 chapters. Okay. Boop. Providing purpose. What do we say, gang? The definition of leadership is? Those of you doing the drink and smoking game, it's purpose, motivation, and direction. Yeah. Something you gotta do is provide purpose. First fucking thing. We said it right there. What's the leader do? Provides purpose, motivation, and direction. We get to the do section. What's the first thing? Providing purpose. See? Purpose gives the troops the reason why they should do extraordinary things in extraordinary conditions. Major General Baron Friedrich von Steuben, 1730 to 1794, remarked that American troops uniquely perform best when they know why they are doing the task. Over in Europe, he was training dudes, and he's like, left flank, and they're like, okay, and they just go, because they came up from like hundreds of years of just fucking being bitches. Not in a, well, that's an unfortunately, I can't be like, well, not in a derogatory way, because that's only derogatory. No, Europe was yoked, and not in the strong guy way, as in the way you would yoke a beast to have it carry your burdens about for you. And they were very used to being yoked beasts, the way cattle are. And then we got over to America and we became free range. And then you put a yoke on us and we wigged the fuck out. And so von Steuben finds that if they just tell them what the fuck we are doing, they will do it all goddamn day. So you tell your troops, we need to conquer this hill. That's how some armies did it for ages. We're conquering this hill. And then they'd expect them to go up. Like, why didn't you conquer it? Like, I don't know. We just didn't get to the top. Shit happens. But if you tell your troops, like, this hill is important. This is the linchpin to the victory of the campaign. If we take this hill from it, we can take all other victories. From this hill, we can fucking go home. Let's get up there, goddammit. And they go. They know why. And then they're going to fight. Because you need to have a reason at all of this. A reason that suits all the things they're going to encounter. If the reason you're saying go up that hill is because I'm going to hit you. Here. Nobody likes looking at the screen. It's not cute. If I say go up that hill. And the only reason I'm sending you up that, and if, like, threat of violence on my end. I'm going to beat you up if you don't go up that hill. Okay. And then you go up that hill and you start getting shot by people. You're going to turn around because you're like, I don't give a fuck. Do I get shot or hit by this knucklehead? I'm going to go take a beating and just call it a day. If the threat is, if it's not equaling out, it's never going to work. And also, you shouldn't be like, well, I'll fucking kill you then. That doesn't set any great standard. I forgot what I was saying. I blacked out thinking of like 3 books at a time. 2 of them are Russian. And those books are... If you want to learn about shooting your own people, read Russian books. You know, what the fuck? You guys are way into this. Mm-hmm. It's pretty neat. Like, no, it's not. Mm-hmm. Purpose. Purpose is... Motivation is going. Motivation is rah-rah juice. It's the spark. Purpose is the fuel. Purpose is you filling their little engine with all the coal you can so that they can last all the way up to the endeavor. And so your purpose needs to be something that can do that. To the extent that you're trying to, you know, I come from military background, so the way that it gets extended is pretty fucking intense compared to working at Dairy Queen. At Dairy Queen, not as nuts. This cone is not the linchpin of your campaign. You know. But maybe your purpose is providing the neighborhood with a great experience and awesome memories, and providing one another with a great place to work, and a great place to spend the summer, because a lot of people do summer jobs, and you know, so a great introduction to the workplace for new people. And you know, so the purpose is like not to sell ice cream so I don't yell at you. The purpose is to sell the ice cream and the hamburgers and the hot dogs and shit, so that summertime around here has that. And I'll do my best to help you help them do that. Boss mode. Okay. Your operations and training require a unique degree of difficulty with equally unique stressors. We talked about this a bit. I don't remember which slide. But how your training intensity should be at least up to, and then like 10% over the most extreme condition you could actually encounter. And so, and it doesn't always have to be all the time. Like, that's not the pace of operations the whole fucking time. But your training should cover that. Just so people aren't pausing and freezing and, what do we do? They know. Those questions are already answered. Yeah, I was going to go on a little hillbilly tirade, but I ain't going to do it. You must teach your troops to think creatively under stress. Purpose is going to help them as creative thinkers. Because purpose, now direction is you telling them what you want done, but them embodying that purpose is going to allow them to come up with new solutions on the fly in the effort of getting that purpose fulfilled. And, you know, sometimes people can get a little too rambunctious and excited, and that's your job to check in on your people. But encourage this in your people as well, because it's how you get future leaders. It's how you get the ability to retire. What am I looking for? Aww. I lost one of my banjo picks. Okay, I'll stop fucking around. When you do. Okay. Communicating purpose. Communicate your intent so your troops understand the desired outcome clearly. Be clear on this. We used the example a few times now, like, go take care of that guy. And then the Schrodinger's cat of that room is a guy being, like, handed a seltzer bottle and ooh, weed cough, being stabbed in the face or jacked off, or like taking care of a guy could mean a lot of things in a lot of different parlance. So be clear on your purpose. I would like to see the following. If you'd like to see it done a certain way, say that. I'd like to see the following. I'd like to see it done this way. Bang, bang. Explain what you want to have happen in clear, concise, and complete terms. Examples from vague to precise. Take your cadets outside and go do something productive. This was fucking infuriating as a leader of cadets when we'd have adult members in the organization who didn't know what to do with the cadets. And they'd be like, take them outside and make their childhood wonderful. And you're like, okay. Like, go do something productive with these military students in their preteens Well, we're not preteens, but teens. Yeah. So, no. Take your cadets out to the parking lot and work on marching drill and eyes right to get them ready for next week's parade. That's you being far more specific. And then saying, like, okay, I want them ready for next week's parade. I want them to do eyes right and marching. Covered. The two things that are going to get done there are the marching and the eyes right. And then the next week's parade business is towards motivation, but it's like a purpose seed. It's something that they get like, okay, this is because we're going to be in front of the whole goddamn town. I don't want to look like an idiot. It's going to be fun, or whatever their personal thoughts are on being in a parade. Providing direction. You set the direction or orientation of actions when you state what must be done in an established priority. So your purpose is, we got to do this. Direction comes out of how you prioritize things. What we got to do next is do. So whatever you think is important to get done first, and then how you support getting that done first. Direction also establishes the relationship between leaders and followers. The direction you give troops is often based on guidance from your leaders. So your boss is coming down and saying, hey, can you get your team to clean the shitters by, like, before lunch? Yes, sir, we're on it. You must listen to your leader, support your leader, and help your leader accomplish the mission. We'll get those shitters clean. Your mission is often a subset of your leader's overall mission. So this is where being a good leader comes in handy, especially at higher levels, because if you're a shit leader and you've got a shit environment going on, this is already starting to fall apart, because subordinate managers are going to have difficulty issuing orders on your behest if you suck. Like, if you're a piece of shit and then your, shift leader or whatever is like, well, the manager's not going to be happy. They're like, fuck him. All right. You're going to get more of those where you're like, but if you have a good environment, not some kind of culty, spooky shit, that conversation won't happen. You won't have the one person saying, like, the boss ain't going to be happy, and you're not going to have the boss not being happy. Like, be chill. But, yeah, when you set the... Let me go to the next slide, because okay. Here we go. Leaders provide direction by, here are some methodologies. Knowing and maintaining standards. Just by knowing and maintaining the standards, that provides direction. Because people are looking up to you, remember? And so they see you as a template. They're going to copy you. Not everything you do, but a lot of what you do. The things they see you doing that they register as being successful, they gon' copy. You provide direction by setting goals, either for the team, for the unit, or even just for yourself, and sort of publishing those. Like, all right, team, we're working on this, that, and the other thing. And just so you guys know, in my off time, I'm also working on being a veterinarian. I put weird emphasis in that word. A veterinarian. A veterinarian. Showing that you have some thought beyond, in that case too, like, if you plan on cross-training, like, let your people know, one, you're not in this for life, you're not as gung-ho as maybe some of the lifers might be, and two, definitely opportunity for advancement, because I'm getting the fuck out of here, so one of you guys is going to have to take over for me, or they're going to hire somebody else, or, I don't know, but there's definitely a chance for you to be the better candidate. Boo-doo! You provide direction by planning, by, like, actual full-on planning, and we're going to do a planning course. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know if I want to do that on here, or if I want to keep that in-house. It's a little proprietary, but that's not the part that bums me out. It's just long as shit. Which, I mean, this is too, so that's not... Well... Alright, back on task. We'll think about it. Providing direction. Planning, you ate your plan. It's there. Typically... Now, here's an important thing. Don't tell me you planned. Don't tell a veteran, an NCO or higher especially, that you plan something if you do not have a written document to support that plan. And then you didn't plan shit. A plan is it's a plan. It's a thing. It's not just like, well, you know what I might do. Nah. No. I want a plan. I want to see what's happening, what's there, who's there, when is it moving, how is it being moved, how is it being utilized, how is it being demobilized, how is it being put away. All that. That's a plan. Not, I want to learn how to roller skate. That's a goal. I want to go to college. That's a goal. That's not a plan. The plan, if the goal is I want to go to college, the plan is I get my grades up, I do the SAT, ACT, I look for whatever the fucking scam is now on student loans, figure out one of those that isn't going to get me fucking in debtor's prison and whatever cyberpunk future we're in, That's a plan. Okay. Making decisions and solving problems. As people see you solve problems in real time, that's going to help them with direction. They're going to see this is, it sort of orients them. As they see these are the kinds of decisions we make, this is the direction we're heading in. Orienting is a good simile? I don't know. Verb? I don't know. The part of my brain that's good at Mad Libs is spiking. Okay. Supervising and evaluating. This is a big one. You provide direction in the moment. Doing on-the-spot corrections. On-the-spot corrections are typically not the time for you to start ripping asses. On-the-spot corrections are a little bit more like little to the left, little to the right, up, down, cool. Oop, watch out for that. Tiny things. You're helping them develop finesse in the skill they're executing in that moment. And then evaluation comes later. And then if you gotta yell at somebody, that's when it'll come up when you have them privately in a space and you're like, what the fuck was that about? You wait till later. Don't do that on the spot. Because that's the weirdest energy to bring to the spot. Especially if you have some kind of customer-facing business. You know, if there's going to be people there and then you're like, you know what, motherfucker, blah, blah. Like, don't have a weird Jerry Springer fight in the middle of your own shop. It just immediately, you be on World Star, dog, it's going to suck. Is World Star still a thing? World Star! I had a joke in my head that that's the website that was going to show when I got assassinated. And be somebody like, yo, Jenny. And I'm like, hey, ow. I hope that's what I say. Ooh. If. Ooh. Never mind. I ain't get shot. That ain't gonna happen. It's a weird nightmare of mine. Well, that's because I'm stoned. Making decisions, solving problems. Yup. Supervising, evaluating. When you evaluate, be clear, be concise, like you intend to. Also, be honest. And with your hard charging troops, your people who are like, you're the fucking best. You impress me every day. Bah, 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 bah. Don't leave them with that. Because they're still developing. And so they still need anchors on which to develop. They still need some guidance on how they can develop in your whatever the thing you got going on is. I blacked out again. I'm so sorry. Nope, not going to tell that story. Moving on. Teaching, coaching, and counseling. You provide direction again, and this is in that evaluation period. Teaching, coaching, and counseling. Teachers. Teaching, coaching, counseling. And supervising and evaluating. Holy shit, dude. Something just kicked in. I'm not going to say the brand of that one because I want more for me. Teaching, coaching, counseling, and training. You get it. This is... Who gives a shit, right, gang? No, I'm just kidding. We all do, but... You get it. You provide direction by being there, by being the bumper in bumper bowling, by being the thing that can redirect them in those moments when they start to stray. That's what direction is orienting people, giving them a way to point their energy and direct their energy to... It's hard to describe direction without the word direction in it, isn't it? It's like sailing a ship. You just point out to the horizon. That's where I want to go. And you keep supporting that. If that's where you want to keep going, you say, that's where we're headed, right there. And you start straining a little bit. You go, hey, a couple more degrees to the right. Let's get that going. I'm sure a sailor's like, not to the fucking right, dude. Sorry. Yeah. Direction is exactly what it says. Be their direction. Boop. Knowing and maintaining standards. Many organizations have established standards for almost all activities. It's goddamn ridiculous. Especially in the military. The military even like tells you what kind of sex you can have, which is wild. Most people don't listen. But it's just in case you like really want to get someone in trouble, they add us like an extra charge. Like, I know you butt fucked. You're like, God damn it. Can we get rid of these draconian laws? They're like, no, this is the draconian section of our whole country. What are you talking about? This is where we do draconian shit. What? Leaders have two responsibilities. Know the standards and enforce the established standards. So you got to know what people are looking for, and you also have to be what people are looking for, and ensure other people are being what they're supposed to be looked for. You must assist subordinate leaders. So I got a team leader over here, I got a team leader over there. They're taking care of this, they're taking care of that. You assist them by explaining your standards that apply to your organization. So here's what we're doing, here's what the boss wants done. I'd like to see these things done if we can. Get those done, blah, 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 blah. Giving them authority to enforce the standards. Whatever you need done down there, you get it done. Your budget, for non-discretionary, we'll call $500. Above $500, call me, and we'll get that roped in. But until then, just get your team down there and get done what you got to do. I trust you. That's what giving authority sounds like. Saying, I trust you. And then hold them accountable. Okay, what the fuck happened? You spent $600. Yeah. I know it was on sale. Alright, next time, no spending for you. You call me for all amounts. We'll figure it out from there. Good job. Something like that. Your troops will quickly realize whether or not you know the standards. Because if you're doing a lot of like, bah, they're like, fuck this idiot. And they're going to bail. You can't fake this shit. You can't fake knowledge. Some people do, but only to like dumb people, which is regrettable, because dummies are sweeties. Usually morons, like there's mean morons where you're like, Jesus Christ. And a lot of mean people are morons for a number of reasons. But a lot of mean people are smart people who've been hurt real bad. But like I've met a lot of legit dumb people. Not a lot. Like fewer than you'd think. But people were like, holy shit. You okay? And they're, I'll be right. I'm like, I love you. They're sweeties. They're goddamn adorable. They don't know to fear so much. They have fears like anyone else, but their pace saves them from some of our anxiety. You gotta envy them for that. But if you're up there, trust me, I know how to do this, and then you biff it right away or whatever, like, you folks are gonna have difficulty. And the reason this is important is because they are expecting you to guide them through this task that they are tasked with. And if you aren't gonna be someone they can come to with questions, they do need to know somebody who can do that. And so something you can do, and something I do all the time, is bring in other experts. Where if I'm going to be at a for sure deficit in this, but I need my subordinates to bang this out, I know they're capable, I know they can do it. Maybe it's particular to like a disability I have or some shit. I was never good at running, ever. So there was one year I was on staff, I just had my sergeant go run for me. I was cadet lieutenant. I wasn't like a for real lieutenant, but I was a cadet lieutenant. And because my troops didn't need to see their lieutenant puking every morning, it was better for me to be missing every morning and it be a funny joke. And so like, where's Lieutenant Sagan? Like, they're in a meeting, and they're like, we're all here. And like, I don't know who they're meeting with then. Like, it became silly, but in that case, it was a way of like utilizing my weakness to build story on the first couple days, and then camaraderie on the next couple days once they figured it out. It was a silly thing we were all up to, and it was pretty cool. But they knew I knew all the other shit, and they knew the person I sent them running with was gonna get them through it. They're like, that kid still, I bet you, maybe, I don't know. I won't say his name, but like, I'll put it this way, I bet you he can run further than me. Okay, setting goals. Babies! My dad had some kind of initialism acronym for this. I can't remember. Oh, SMART goals. That's what it was. We'll see if I wrote that in here. The ultimate goal of a goal setting is to ensure every member of a unit is properly trained, motivated, prepared to complete their missions. That's the goal of you as a leader in your everyday, what am I supposed to do here? Ensure the members of your team are properly trained, motivated, prepared to complete their missions. Everybody knows how to do what they got to do and can do what they got to do. Achieving this objective requires you and your subordinates to work together to establish goals. If you need your people to do a thing, rope them in on it. If you set a goal without their input, sure, they may or may not hit it, but you can tailor it in such a way that it's actually going to be productive. Now, this isn't like, if they need to improve in an area, make them improve in that area. But in this planning together phase, you can lay down your rationale as to why this is the goal and why you feel and know that this person is capable of accomplishing this goal. That's more so where their involvement is like, here's what I want to have out of you. Now, if they're like, oh shit, I'm allergic to goldfish, or stuff like that's important. Like, okay, we gotta med hold this, we can get you a waiver there, we can do this, you can, those kind of details are great in that session as well. But if they're like, I can't do it, then you switch gears and you go into motivation and you start getting them to do the thing, which purpose is why, motivation is due. Planning. Planning is usually based on guidance or a mission you receive from your leader or higher headquarters. Or you, if you're an entrepreneur, and then you're fucked. Then you gotta do the whole thing yourself. Backward planning is the process of identifying the training or mission objective and working backwards step by step. So determine the basics. What, how, when. Identify the tasks you want to accomplish and establish a sequence for them. Develop a schedule to accomplish the tasks you've identified. Start with the last task to be accomplished and work back to the present time. What does that actually mean? Okay, I want to teach a bunch of people. The reason this is all baked into planning as well, because like, sure, you can. Planning training as a junior leader is probably going to be what you're doing more of. You're not necessarily going to be planning big strategic level events. You might be doing a quick class on this, a quick class on that. It's a lot of what junior leaders get tasked with. But, okay, so back to the point. if we imagine like a kitchen and we say I want to work on knife skills with my cooks today. I want to get them comfortable with the knife, able to sharpen and hone the knife, and able to conduct or execute the types of cuts we utilize in our operation. So that's going to be a small dice, a medium dice, a large dice, julienne, brunoise, and I mean it's kind of most of them. And yeah, and then we'll be done. So I want to get the brunoise done. That's like a thick julienne. Julienne's easy to. So we'll start with dicing. I'll have them dice a bunch of. We'll do carrots, potatoes, things that are easy to kind of get into a square shape, and then we'll have them do. No, what was that? I wasn't thinking brunoise. I was thinking batonette. Dumb shit. We'll do julienne and batonette first, actually, because dicing is just making batonettes and juliennes shorter. There we go. That's thinking out the plan. So we're gonna get in. We're gonna do batonette, then julienne, then large dice down to small dice. That's our knife class. Da-da-da. Planning. Involving subordinates in planning. Woo-woo! Soliciting help from your subordinates is useful. They're the ones who are going to have to do this shit. So you can get their input because it may help it run more smoothly. If handled properly, you can accomplish several objectives simultaneously. Improve communication between you and your troops, which improves cohesion and discipline. So you go to your people for certain things. You know, they know you have the final word or whatever, because that's what being a boss is unfortunately about. But they do know that they have your ear, and that means a lot. Provides motivation for the troops involved because they know they're not going to be isolated or alone. They know they're going to have resources because you talk to them. Provide a clear picture of the broader perspective of unit goals and objectives. So if they understand the planning process, gradually they're going to understand. They're going to be more confident with the plans that are published. Because if they understand how these things get developed, they're going to be less leery about following them kind of, not blindly, but without as much input. Your subordinates' ideas can help you create a better plan. Did I skip a thing? Involving your subordinates shows that you recognize and appreciate their abilities. True, true, true. If you got experts and shit, bring them in. Recognize them as experts. Tell them, hey, you're in the planning session because you're my such and such expert. And they're like, oh shit, okay. Subordinate participation in planning provides them with a personal interest in seeing the plan succeed. Because they helped. It's shake and bake, and I helped. They're going to be so jazzed. When this thing kicks off, it's not just some shit we did. It's some shit we did. Some shit I did. It's some shit we did. That's fucking cool as hell. Look what we got done. Makes them feel good. As it should. Making decisions and solving problems. Problem-solving process. We never did SMART goals, did we? I forget what the acronym is. Meh. Problem-solving process. Recognize and define your problems. You're going to be like, this is dumb, Jenny. Recognize and define your problems. What's my problem? My feet are cold right now. And a little bit wet. Gather facts and make assumptions. I don't have socks on and my floor's real cold and I got these like barefooty kind of shoes. So I'm assuming that it's that. Like, it's probably not that there's ice jumping in my feet. It's probably the fact that I have, like, no socks on and my fucking floor is freezing. Develop possible solutions. Put on socks, you moron. Or I could get a rug down if I want to go the extra mile. Analyze and compare the possible solutions. Getting a rug versus getting some socks. I think I'm just going to do the socks. Select best solution. Socks it is. Do-do-do. Problem solving, babies. The problem solving process is continuous. This is going to be in the moment, every moment. Get used to, okay, alright, 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 and just jumping from thing to thing. Especially when you're in a leadership role, and especially when you're in a sort of like action period, when you're doing whatever your sort of most active work is, your sort of surge period stuff. Yeah. It's just you're nonstop. And they're like, what the fuck? It's Thursday? Yep. Where'd the week go? Like, I think in the dumpster. When time is scarce, you must take actions to ensure a timely decision. Don't be hemming and hawing and like, let me call you back Thursday. I keep picking on Thursday. Anyway, when you're making these, holy shit, it's happening again, guys. We're a little stoner wave. Time available, urgency of the situation, and your judgment will affect your decision making. Yes, of course. When time is scarce, yes. After objectively and logically analyzing possible actions, consider your emotions and intuition. Or the other way around. But a lot of times you're going to lead with kind of one or the other, like, I love these motherfuckers, I'm a passionate person. I lead from my passionate side. Some of you are like, I'm a calculated wizard. I fucking read books and get shit done. You're going to start from that side. Consult your other side, though. What does your heart say, Mr. Thinker? What's your brain say, Mr. Lover? Mademoiselle. We should come up with a cool honorific for non-binary folks. Mine's Staff Sergeant. Huh? Avoid the trap of relying on gut feelings alone. It can get you further than you think, because your gut feeling is not magic or anything. It is non-conscious thought in a way. Like, those gut feelings are based on things. It's your body voting on what's going on. Make the decision that make a decision that is make the decision that is grounded in logic. Oh, yeah, I guess. But feels right in terms of your intuition, values, and character. So make a choice where you're like, okay, this makes sense, and I'm not going to feel like a fucking monster once we get it done. When possible, involve your subordinates in the decision-making process. We've covered that again. Supervising and evaluating. Do I kind of hit all these? Yeah. Can I tell you something, gang? I want to pause it. Kinda. Hang on. It's 11:44. We got 15 minutes till I ceremoniously. That's not the right word. Ceremonially. Is that the right word? Because ceremoniously is to do it in a way that would be for a ceremony, and I think ceremonially is with ceremony. My balls, King. I'm tired. So maybe I'll wrap up. Because the supervising and evaluating, the only reason I'm kind of pausing is it's a bit, it's good information, and you're going to want it, and I don't necessarily want to deliver it with my vision doing what it's doing. So I hilariously have, like I said, when problems were on sale, I picked up a bunch. I have vertigo because I got fucking domed a bunch. Ow, I did it again. No, I'm just kidding. I'm okay. I'm not going to slap myself a concussion. I've tried. Involve planning, setting goals. We did that. Making. Okay. Supervising and evaluating is important-ish. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's like 10 fucking slides to get through it as a block, and I'd rather do it as a block than do any of it partially. So that's my explanation von Steuben. You want to see a picture? It's not going to be gross, I promise. I'm working on something. It's related to what I talked about at the end of last week's episode. If I can get my freaking program to open. It's not opening. I'm getting mad now. Here it is. Look what I made. So this is the thing we're doing. One of the food elements we're spinning up is called the Big Green Monster. And at first we were going to call it the Big Green Weenie. And we changed the name, not because of weenie, but because we want to sell more than hot dogs. And we're like, probably implies we just sell hot dogs. But we did put Big Green Weenies on the manju. Zoom is awful for this purpose. Whoop. Meow. Look. Big Green Weenie, Big Bowl of Chili, Big Green Wings, Big Bad Sliders, Big Green Fries, and Build Your Big Bites. But the food truck platform is there so we can, one, generate income, but two, we're having it stocked in such a way that we can generate mass feeding kind of meals on the fly. So we can take care of a lot of people if we want to. And then ideally this platform, we're going to be using it for a bunch of stuff. And then probably more rapidly than I'm ready for, we'll get like a second one going. But the other people are ready, so like I don't need to be ready for it. I'm just surprised. I'm like, oh shit, we're doing this now. Okay, cool. So that's gonna be exciting. So you're gonna see our green trucks. We're gonna have tents out where we can. I'll let you know too how the first one went. We'll say that. I won't dox myself before the first one. That'd be fucking ridiculous. When does doxing become marketing, and when does marketing become doxing? Like, come on down to, fucking, hang on. Maybe I'll go on down to somewhere else, and we can all come on down to there instead. If my kiddo's watching this, I miss you. If you're not, what are you even doing? Yeah, we'll call it. I got too high, gang. I apologize. I hope in this whirlwind of whatever the hell it was, I was able to make some kind of salient points for you. Let me review what we reviewed. That'll be a good use of my thinking. So we started the do section. What you gotta do. We've already covered being and knowing. Holy moly, we covered a lot. Or I'm going in the wrong direction. Is that what's happening? No, we covered a lot of stuff. That's what's happening. Okay. Do. So we talked about providing purpose, methods of providing purpose. We talked about purpose being the overall goal, desire, the thing you want to see happen. The purpose, but not so much just the thing you want to have happen, but the why that has to be threaded through. Like what you're doing and why you're doing it. That's the purpose. The direction on how you're doing what you're doing, that's direction. Motivation is the little fire to get them going and actually doing the thing. And so in some cases, the purpose can be motivating on its own, and you may just have to support that with additional motivation. In other cases, the purpose may be completely demotivating, and you're going to have to put a bunch of effort into motivating to get them up to, like, I know this is going to fucking suck. I'm going to be there with you the whole time. The minute we can quit, we're quitting. But we've got to do this. Let's go. And here we be. Providing direction. We talked about all the kinds of ways you can do that. Doing and maintaining standards. Blah, 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 setting goals. Blah, 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 planning. Involving your subordinates, your plans. This also helps them ahead of time with that purpose equation, because they've sat in on the planning session, so they know the whole purpose and motivation. They know the direction. They know the whole thing. At least the ones who were there. And then they can help spread that to the others. Making decisions, solving problems, yup. Supervising and evaluating, we're doing that next week. Next week I should still be doing this. I may have a guest next week. I have a guest coming tomorrow to stay with us for probably the summer. Maybe next week will be the opportunity to get everybody on and squeeze everybody behind my desk, or have them clean up my area over there, and we'll do like a little seated thing. That could be fun. Okay, this has been an awful episode. I'm sorry. Or it's been terrific, and you're welcome. I don't know. But it's still Sunday. We're kicking into Monday. Tomorrow's coming. You got it. Even if you're like I used to be, you wake up greeting the sun just angry. God damn it. Just minute one. You'll be okay. The ones who wake up anxious. Oh, fuck. Right off the bat. You're gonna be okay. You will find yourself tomorrow in your bed again. If that's where you feel like falling asleep. I can't promise that to everyone. That's not for me to promise. But if I were betting, I bet on seeing you next week. Oh, I was going to be slick and stop it at the right time.